right, well, moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Adam Clifford.
I don't know how I feel following. It's a tough act to follow. So, who hasn't played Mario Kart here? Oh, who has played Mario Kart? Who loves Mario? Okay, good.
It's like as a concept.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Luigi grimaced. He was reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Everyone was, except Mario. Mario, his vainglorious Napoleonic complex suffering rotund midget of a brother, was too busy preening for the crowd to actually bother to race. So what if 11 other people were waiting for him? Mario didn't care. He was there for the crowd, and the crowd was there for him. In Mario's mind, the racetrack was the sideshow. That sideshow was filled with 11 other people with engines pumping and thumping in time. The 12th cart, the cart in 4th position, Mario's cart, racing. That fecal pile of flop, sweat, and ego was too busy pandering to the crowd. Luigi might not like his brother. Luigi knew exactly what Mario was doing because Mario always did the exact same thing. And he used to go with him. Every race, they would walk over to the stands together and wave at the crowds together. And everyone, including Mario, would ignore Luigi together. Except the vacuum cleaner salesman. Those idiots would wave Luigi sucks signs and think it was a compliment. He'd sign autographs and pose for pictures and try not to gag at the musty and dusty smell. Meanwhile, Mario would always tell the same 2 jokes. The same 2 jokes he was about to tell now. Mario would walk up to a young kid, usually no older than 8, and look him in the eye. "It's me, Mario!" The kid would light up like it was fucking Christmas morning. Mario would stick his thumbs in his suspenders and rock back on his heels, and with his best used car salesman shit-eating grin, whether that was a grin of a used car salesman who ate shit or the grin of someone who ate the shit of a used car salesman, is the subject of debate, better for philosophers than I. And as the kid, completely losing that ridiculous Italian accent, what kind of overalls do I wear? Kids always either shrugged or said, "Blue." And somehow Mario's grin would get even wider and more shit-eating-er. And say, "Down, down, down." Stupid joke. Yeah. Often the kids didn't get it, but the adults usually did. They often just groaned and laughed politely. Like everybody here. Mario had found his first victim, and Luigi could see the groan ripple through the crowd that had the misfortune of overhearing. All of the racers were already tired of this shit. Even Lakitu was starting to get antsy to get the race started, but hadn't moved to pull Mario back onto the track yet. Luigi glared as Mario walked to his next target. It was always a group of women. Always young, always at least tipsy. His "It's a me, Mario" line was always greeted with tee-hees and giggles. He would very obviously look them up and down and then say, "Ladies, do you know why you should always give fat guys a chance?" Dude thumb hooked through the suspenders and shit-eating, cat-eating canary grin, and we have self-esteem issues, so we're eager to please, and clearly, we love to eat.
God damn it, Mario!
This was always followed by an awkward wink that looked like it had escaped from a wilderness preserve specializing in the conservation of the cheesy closing seconds of 80s sitcom episodes. More giggling and tee-heeing, but 9 times out of 10, at least one of them would be at his trailer after the race. Lecter had finally had enough and floated over to the stands, dropped a fishing line down the back of his denim overalls, and caught himself a grade A Atlantic sea bastard. Mario waved to the cheering crowd, having successfully gotten out of the indignity of having to walk to his cart like a video game commoner. Luigi hated his brother. That egotistical dick shit rarely finished above 4th place, and yet he always acted like he was hot shit. 3-time Star Cup champion Luigi was always overlooked in favor of his littler, less talented brother. I was so tired of being in Mario's shadow. The universe seemed to think he belonged there, though. Despite finishing ahead of Mario in the qualifying, Mario had delayed the start just long enough for the sun to move and shift to just the right position, so Mario's shadow was actually cast across Luigi at the starting line. This indignity would not stand long. The green light flashed and Luigi guns his engine in time. The flag goes up and Luigi gets up to jump on the pack, surging past Donkey Kong and Yoshi into first place based on his perfectly executed rocket start. Luigi looks back over his shoulder, and behind him, 10 races were churning and burning as they yearned for the cup. But that fat, flatulent ball of hot air that wore his brother's face was waffling around back at the starting line, having completely fucked up the rocket start, as usual. Luigi chuckled to himself and put his eyes forward on the track. You could hear the collisions behind him as they deftly maneuvered and muscled for rank, bouncing off each other in a pushing match at top speed. Luigi could feel the heat of the blue sparks as he reckless and wildly poured through the turns. Sliding and boosting to increase his lead. Through each curve and bend, he repeated this, slipping further and further ahead. Left a trail of bananas and broken dreams in his wake. Occasionally, he'd fling a green shell behind him and hear curses after a lucky strike. One lap down, he felt completely in control. He felt invincible. Finally, everyone would recognize his prowess is potent and secretly sturdy.
God!
Then he heard it. The whistle. The whistle of air through fluffy wings. The whistle of air through fluffy, feathery wings carrying a shell. The whistle of air through fluffy, feathery wings carrying a blue shell that was locked on to whoever was in first. It was locked on to Luigi. It was going to come pouring down from the heavens like the vengeful wrath of a violent and hateful god. It hit. That moment was almost zen-like for Luigi. Time slowed down to a crawl as the world went topsy-turvy, and he flipped up and around in a kaleidoscope of motion and sight and sound. His lead was big enough that it shouldn't drop him too far back in the pack. He could see as he hung upside down, the whole pack laid out behind him. Diddy Kong was struggling with Bowser for second place. Toadstool was dueling along in fourth. Princess Peach and Rosalina in fifth and sixth. Morton was spinning on a banana in seventh, which Toadette was about to take away from him. Yoshi was floundering in ninth place, and Donkey Kong was driving through the dirt in 10th. And Shy Guy was driving in reverse and in 11th place. Last place was Mario. He was fist pumping like throwing a blue shell and hitting first place was some kind of miraculous display of skill and not like some completely lucky consolation prize for being the worst fucking racer in the goddamn race. And automatically and without fail would hit the leader, Luigi. And right as Mario threw that shell, another power. Luigi hit the ground and the world sped back up. The oncoming carts roared. He righted his cart, and as he was accelerating back to top speed, Diddy and Bowser and Toadstool and Princess Peach and Rosalina passed him by. But there's still a lap and a half to go. There was still time. Then he heard Mario screaming triumphantly. high-pitched wail of the self-righteous getting what they believed they were entitled to, but had done nothing to deserve. Half the pack was wiped out, including Luigi, as Mario came through riding on a bullet bill. What kind of drugs were the gods of random number generation doing to give Mario a blue shell and a bullet bill back to back? Luigi couldn't even imagine what kind of monstrous machine made from the brains of Einstein and Hawking and Newton and Lovelace and no other would be necessary to just begin to calculate the odds. That fucking lucky little shit, Luigi thought. He grimaced, he buckled down, he set to driving and striving and hugging the turns. Blue sparks flew, red shells decimated those in front of him. He gave his famous death glare as he passed them by. When the second lap was done, the third lap was coming to a close. He was barreling down on that hapless plumber that didn't know the difference between PVC and copper pipes. That somehow shared his genetics. That stupid red cap floated in first place, unaware that any one driver on that track could easily defeat him one-on-one. But his ass was saved by the fact that everyone was too busy destroying each other to claim the lead from that fuck-faced Mario. Luigi climbed up into fourth place, and then third. He pulled a red shell from the power-up box and mentally painted Mario's name on it. There was only a few turns left, and he was getting ready to muscle his way past Bowser when Toadette unleashed the power of a star. Invincible, she shot forward, flattening Toadstool and Peach and Luigi and Bowser, power failing just before she could overtake Mario. Luigi finished a distant sixth, limping across the finish line to the roars of a crowd stunned by the dramatic reversal of Mario's fortunes from last to first. Luigi could see his brother on the big screen being interviewed. Wow, 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 what a victory, Mario! What do you say to people who might say you only won because you got lucky? Mario grinned. Well, Marv, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, he winked right at the camera. And I feel pretty lucky tonight. Fans got up and they got out of town. Except for the three who visited Mario's trailer. They were only slightly delayed though. The arena is completely empty except for one man, still driving and striving against his ghosts as fast as he can. The sun has gone down, the moon has come up. And long ago, his shitty fuck-faced asshole brother is left with the cup. The track has morphed into Rainbow Road, but he's driving and striving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. Luigi's going the distance. Luigi's going for speed. Daisy is all alone. All alone? All alone in her time of need. Trapped at a different racetrack, of course. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course, he's fighting and biting and riding on his cart. Luigi is going the distance. Thank you.
That was like an epic journey you just took us on. Just like emotionally invested in your story.
Yeah.
Everybody give it up for Adam one more time.